Yo, what's up, guys? You got Pokeaim here. Today we're going to be talking about all the new officially released information from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I know you guys have been waiting. I couldn't be alone today. I had to bring back the veteran, the first head of Mount Rushmore, the GOAT of competitive Pokemon, the vegan burger. Say hi to them, bro.
Vegan burger.
Yeah,
You know what? You're right.
Impossible Patty.
Impossible burger, Beyond burger, all that stuff, man.
yeah,
It's me, man. It's me. I'm out here, man. Good.
So, guys, we got Shofu with me here today, which is awesome because he will be coming back. I mean, he ever gone. He streams all the time. But in terms of Pokemon, he'll be coming back with Scarlet and Violet, which is going to be hella hype. Can't wait to battle and do things like that. But we're going to be going over this information, taking a deeper dive into the Terastallized phenomenon or whatever the hell they call it. And if you guys enjoy this, make sure you let me know. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel on my way to 300K. Subscribe to Shofu on his way to 700K. And overall, let's just just dive right into it. So, Cyclizar, new dragon, normal type Pokemon. We saw this on Drampa before, but this one has Shed Skin, which is a pretty good ability. And they said it can sprint at over 70 miles per hour. So, based on Pokemon's track record, that can mean it can either be extremely fast or very slow. Like, that doesn't actually mean anything.
It's so unfortunate.
It does suck because, I mean, it's the damn wheel Pokemon that everybody has this Pokemon. First off, like,
Yeah,
look, everybody,
it.
a Pokemon that lives with humans, so everybody has. They don't mind being ridden because of the warmth of the rider helps stave off the cold. Okay, but this mon's pretty cool, right? Because you said it learned shift gear in the trailer, right? It showed it going for shift gear. I think that's really good on, especially on a normal Pokemon, too, because we don't typically get a lot of strong normal stab anymore without return and frustration anymore. Obviously, boosting your speed and boosting your attack can be a pretty big thing. But tell him about the broken move.
Man, Shed Tail, I just can't believe they even put a move like this in Pokemon. It sets up a sub, and you switch out, and the Pokemon that comes in gets to use that sub.
It's so cool, dude. It is so cool.
It is cool.
Now, it sounds like Baton Pass, right? It sounds like Baton passing a sub, but it doesn't pass stats. I'm pretty sure it does not pass stats.
It's just the same as any U-turn, Volt Switch, Parting Shot. It's just the sub instead of whatever those moves do.
Which opens up so many different, I don't want to use the word strategies because I sound like the Pokemon website, but it opens up so many different things and combinations that you could do, right? Now, the big thing is Shed Tail is 50% of your HP. And it takes the majority of it as well.
The majority, 50%.
Yeah. So it's like when Blaze can only use 2 Mind Blowns, right? Like, it's sort of similar to that. But Shofu was saying before, and we also did a video on his channel too. This one's gonna be a little bit different.
Blacephalon can use 2 Mind Blowns, but it can still use 2 of them. Like, it can die on that second one, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be able to use this move if you don't have at least 50% health left.
So you think,
how are you gonna die and switch out for somebody else?
So you think
unless
it's
you
overall?
can use it that way? Do you think you can just use it and die and have a sub up for somebody?
Almost like a Healing Wish or like a Lunar Dance type of thing.
Do you think that you won't be able to use it unless you live afterward?
Wow, I didn't even think about that aspect. That's actually really cool because like you're faking your death. I mean, it's really happened, but you're still able to bring a substitute for somebody. So I mean, that's really an interesting thing. And the fact
bro, if you can just have like 2 HP. And but you still have to make a sub though. Like, there's so many questions.
But a sub takes I think that won't work specifically. Like, I think you could die with it, and it'll take your HP, but it'll probably still have the HP that you died with it, right? So, like, for instance, you know how you can break a sub by multi-hitting it, or like if you go for U-turn on like a not very effective sub, you can hit it with a weaker attack and it'll usually break because subs usually have 25%. This one takes 50%. So we also don't know if the sub itself is going to be a big 50% sub, which is pretty crazy, right? Because subs usually...
it really just depends. If the sub is not a set... Like, I'm thinking the sub might be a set number. Like, maybe that sub has like 100 HP... Not 100 HP, that's too much. Yeah. Maybe that sub has like, 50 HP or something every time you use that move.
Yeah.
Unless you can scale it to the actual Pokemon that you're using that move on. Like, maybe it takes 25% of that Pokemon's health into it. Like, we don't know how the move works.
So, like...
But depending on...
I was gonna say, like, if like the way you said, like, so like if it takes 50%, right? So you need to be able to do 50% to the Pokemon. If the sub itself has 50%, and you need to be able to do 50% to a Pokemon, it's actually really even better than I thought. Because, for example, if it was a 25% sub and you had Ferrothorn out versus Cyclizar, right? We don't know if Cyclizar is going to be a good Pokemon. We'll get into that in a second. But Gyro Ball to Volcarona, like let's say you Shed Tail to Volcarona. Gyro Ball to offensive Volcarona does 25 to 29%. If that was a regular sub, it would break the sub, right? It would always break the sub. But if this sub is a 50% sub, so it comes down to 50% of the health, and I'm assuming it's also going to be based on the HP value and stuff that it has too, it might not break the sub. So
that just sounds a little too crazy to me, though.
You don't think it'd be like that?
I don't think it'll be a 50% sub because that would be literally insane.
You just think it's because it's such a good move.
I think the 50% health is the cost to set up whatever that sub number is.
And that makes a little bit more sense. I don't think it's inherently broken just because, for one, Cyclizar is a lizard and it has shed skin. So this could either be a signature move type of thing or just only goes to that kind of category, right? Besides Smeargle, which can copy every move. And if you look at shed skin, Arbok, Sandaconda, and Seviper get it, but they're snakes, and snakes don't shed their tails, right? They do shed their skin, but they don't shed their tails. Scrafty is a bipedal lizard, so Scrafty might be able to have this move, but I don't know if you'd even use it on Scrafty because, like, let's look at it from VGC, right? You use Scrafty for Intimidate and the fact that it could tank hits. Why would you sack half your health type of thing? And then if this move just doesn't care and just it works on every Shedskin Pokemon, then we have Dragonite, and we got Dragonite, and we have Tyranitar being out here able to do these sub baton pass sort of things, and the Scavalier, I guess, as well, which would be another.
I need to know how this move works because there's so many possibilities.
Exactly. I think
like if I can use this move whenever I please.
Yeah.
Like Cephalon can use
Mind Blown, no matter, it can be at 1 HP.
He'll die using it, but he can still use it.
You're right.
If I can kill myself and use this move, like that's still good.
And if it's still a normal substitute as well.
Yeah. Because in my mind, I was thinking like, damn, can I only use this move one time? But if I can use it twice and set up a sub for an incoming Pokemon twice, even at the cost of the Pokemon's life, that's still really good.
Yeah, that's just an insane thing. So there's a lot to think about. I didn't even think about like how that would work. So we definitely need more. We need more from it. And in terms of Dragon Normal, it's good typing. Drampa has it. This probably be faster. Shift Gear obviously is a big thing. Drampa also, being a Dragon types have usually insane move pools and some sort of thing, right? They usually have fire coverage.
Yeah,
they have Dragon.
They have
things.
Normal types in general have weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Moves.
Normal types have so many moves too. And Dragon Normal has good resistances. On Shofu's video, I mentioned Blacephalon, you're immune to Ghost, and that's a big thing, especially when there's no pursuit. Ghost immune is amazing, and you resist to fire, so pretty cool overall. Not going to go into any like spoilers or anything. We're only showing official stuff, but some people also think other things about this Pokemon. Now, the other cool stuff that we have is we have new items. Mirror Herb.
Yes,
I don't know how much Mirror Herb is going to be crazy in singles, maybe doubles type of thing, but it's an herb, just like Power Herb, where it's one-time use, and it mimics mirrors rather what the opponent does. So if Azumarill is in front of me, that's the example they showed, versus, what is this Pokemon called again? The giant whale?
Cetitan.
Oh my god, that's such an amazing name. If it's in front of if it's holding it and the Azumarill uses Belly Drum and gets +6, Cetitan instantly eats its herb and copies that. Now, in terms of doubles, I think that has a lot of potential because you can have teammates next to you to also alleviate the pressure from whatever you're fighting to, and I'm sure certain Pokemon have counters. In singles 6v6, like Smogon, I don't think this will be that crazy. However, Ubers is the tier that comes to mind, and Eternus uses Meteor Beam, Calyrex Shadow Rider uses Nasty Plot, and big one, Xerneas uses Geomancy, and Necrozma does main is always coming in on that Pokemon, right? Always. So it being able to come in, it doesn't really need an item. It can run Rocky Helmet if it wants to. It can run Shed Shell for Magnezone, but it doesn't really need an item. It can run this and instantly boost its special defense, right? It won't be able to take advantage of the special attack boost, but you're matching your special defense to Xerneas, effectively making Xerneas do the exact same damage for the waste of a Geomancy power. But do you see any other implications, or any other examples where this might be good?
I'm not sure, man. I don't think this is that crazy in singles at all. To be honest.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem very.
You can't really how do you can't guarantee you'll be out against a Pokemon that's setting up. It's more common in doubles. It's more common in doubles to be on the field with an item like this, probably when a Pokemon is trying to gain some stats. But I don't know.
I feel like this might be similar to room service. It's a cool thing in theory, for like, room service, trick room, lower your speed. Not going to be used much in singles at all. I mean, some Pokemon, your instant, obviously, copy will be like Blaziken, because it gets a speed boost, and it goes for Swords Dance. Maybe you can copy it with something, but I mean, if I'm going to do that, I just run Ditto on my team with Choice Scarf, right? And just
that's what I'm saying. Ditto is way more reliable because you just wait for a boost, and then you can switch it in.
Exactly.
And get it. You can use Shed Tail to bring in your Ditto.
Copy stats be behind a sub. That's so broken. That is so broken. All right, this is the cool one. Covert Cloak. For doubles, really cool because it protects you from additional effects of moves. Now, when you're thinking about moves with additional effects that this will protect you from, think of Sheer Force and what gets affected by Sheer Force. So, Lava Plume, Flamethrower, etc. Don't think like Magma Storm won't trap you. No, for whatever reason, Magma Storm is not affected by Sheer Force, and don't even try to explain that to me because
I think it's because it's just completely separate. It's not like a secondary effect. It's like
it is the effect of the move, right? Yeah. But then I can go right back for you and say Power Up, Punch, and Nuzzle, right? Which are affected by Sheer Force. And that is the intended effect of moves. Yeah, that is the intended effect of moves. So I don't bother trying to understand why Game Freak did it. Just know that there's a list of moves. We literally had like this discussion, in my Discord.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, like we had this discussion in my Discord the other day, and it was just we could not explain why at all. If somebody can tell us the reasoning, go ahead, man. If I like that reasoning,
maybe secondary effects are categorized their own way. Then maybe like paralysis is always a secondary effect no matter how you did it.
But Magma Storm can miss.
If it's not Thunder Wave, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I don't know. But the cool thing about this is it's going to be really cool in doubles because it protects you from Fake Out, which is going to be so sick. And you were talking about how like usually you need partners and stuff. Wait, can you explain the Trick Room thing as well? I want to understand that a little bit.
I was saying Trick Room. Like, typically you would have a Pokemon next to your Trick Room user to, maybe use Follow Me or Fake Out themselves to let your Pokemon actually be able to use Trick Room. But in this case, if you can't get flinched from Fake Out or Rock Slide or whatever, then that frees up that second Pokemon to maybe do something different. So now you don't have to babysit your Trick Room on as heavily. You can just use Trick Room without... Obviously, a taunt will probably stop you, but in the case that that's not present, then you can always get your Trick Room off without your supporting Pokemon needing to Follow Me or Fake Out.
I like that so much.
Or Wide Guard or whatever the hell they would have done normally.
Dude, so I'm in the Doubles OU tournament right now, right? And a lot of the times I have to really think about how can I prevent their Trick Room, how can I prevent their Tailwind, and also how I can waste turns of it, right? Like, you're thinking also just setting up Trick Room, but I'm also thinking, I can have an offensive Pokemon, just have this, and let's say it's an offensive Pokemon with, let's just say Scrappy. Let's use Surfetch as an example. Surfetch can't be intimidated because of Scrappy, right? So Incineroar comes in, it can't fake me out, and that's so cool if I run the Cloak on it. Now, that's amazing for doubles, right? But singles, some people weren't really sure how great it would work. My thought process was Garchomp would be a really good Pokemon for this because Garchomp is very bulky naturally, right? Like it takes, I'll show you the damage calc real quick, how much it takes from Scalds from Toxapex. So, now granted, Toxapex can toxic you and can knock you off and can do whatever to it. But the big thing is I can now set up, and I'm thinking like even on Aurora Veil teams and things like that, like Scald will only do 16 to 20%. I can now set up Garchomp in front of Toxapex or even just go for 2 Earthquakes without the risk of being Scaldbro. Same thing versus Slowbro. Same thing versus Zapdos was another one that came to mind.
These Pokemon that use these moves specifically to burn things.
Yeah, to burn things or to stop setup, to limit setup, right? I do think that setup Pokemon, I think specifically Garchomp, just because it can come in on Heatran's, Lava Plumes, it can come in on Toxapex and threaten it. Granted, Toxapex, like I said, can knock off, can toxic, can do whatever. Yeah, but as long as I'm not getting burnt, like initially, I think is really, really good. So I think on Aurora Veil teams like Ninetales and Artazol, and if they're even in the game, and like Garchomp with SD Scale Shot, this will be really cool for that. Dragonite was another example I thought of where you can set up in front of Zapdos forever, right? Discharge can never paralyze you. Hurricane can never confuse you. You can literally Dragon Dance and Roost always. Like, you're probably going to get static at the end when you touch them with your +6 Dual Wing Beat or +6 Ice Punch. Again, we're thinking from this metagame. But at that point, you're +6, so you're also going to be faster than most Pokemon, even when paralyzed. So, I think it'll be a niche item that is really good on certain Pokemon, kind of like Protective Pads. Protective Pads is really good on Urshifu and Melmetal and Kartana, but they also have really good options like Choice Band, obviously, Choice Scarf, Leftovers in Melmetal's case, things like that. So I think it's pretty cool, especially when it'll save you from moves that are always ran and the weaker moves that are always ran. But in Dragonite's case, it probably wants to run heavy duty boots anyway. But I do think that this is going to have more use in singles than what people think, or at least going to have to. And why don't you talk about this trash item? Or go ahead.
The thing is, too, like, you'll never know if somebody... I mean, you'll probably figure it out. Like, if you start using Scald and they never get burned and they don't have leftovers and stuff...
Nah, man, I've used Scald 100 times and not burned somebody. I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying. You might not actually ever know that they have this item. Like, it's one of those items that you don't really see the effects of as the opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just wondering why your Scalds aren't burning. But in your case, as the person using the item, you know that you don't have to worry about that shit.
Dude, this would be crazy in like a metagame where Mega Lopunny is back or like Mega Medicham was back and they go for Fake Out to get their Mega Evolution safely. Right. and then I don't it's basically giving your Pokemon Shield Dust. It's really cool. Shield Dust is a great ability. It's a great ability. Rabambi used it for Fake Out back before. Like, it got a guaranteed Sticky Web up in Gen 7. And yeah, but this is probably the worst item we've seen. Though I think it's fun. It's the worst. Go ahead and explain why this is bad, Show.
Loaded dice, man. Loaded dice. It increases the chance that you'll hit more times. That's all it does.
Don't put the emphasis on chance. Like,
chance. It's more likely. More likely? I can't work with more likely.
Yeah.
Where are my guarantees at?
It's not very strong. Now, the cool thing about this picture is Breloom is back. That's the best thing about this picture. And I do like that they use Breloom with Technician. Well, I hope it's a Technician. But I do like they showed Breloom off because, you know, this is probably one of the Pokemon that would take most use of this move. But like Shofu said, it's a chance. If you guys didn't know, multi-hit moves, like these that hit 5 times, the chance of 2 and 3 hits are the same. I believe the chance of 4 and 5 hits are the same. But most people get 2, 3 hits, I feel, especially with Scale Shot, right? But Breloom, Technician, Ambipom, Technician, Cinccino, and then maybe Scale Shot, Garchomp, maybe a Dragonite's Kyurem Black that really wants to kill something with Icicle Spear. Those could all be recipients of this, but the fact that it's a chance is kind of whatever. If it was guaranteed, and we really need to know the numbers, right? Like, if it's a 50% chance to get 4 and 5, right, and only 25% to get 2 and 3, I'd be okay with that. Like, I'd roll those dice. I'd roll those dice, those loaded dice. But it does take up an item, and Life Orb is stronger on Breloom almost every single time. Literally almost every single time. And this Breloom...
I just don't ever see a point to use this item. Unless Terastallizing into a Grass type with Breloom and getting 4 to 5 hits every single time is just so good that I can't deny
if it's a guaranteed kill. Yeah. So like the way Terastallizing works is, you guys know, if you Terastallize into a type that was one of your 2 types, you get a boost in the power. I'm not sure if it's adaptability or what the actual boost will be, but it's sort of similar to Gems in that sense, I would think. I would compare it to Gems. So this Bullet Seed from Breloom was able to kill Blissey in 4 hits. And, well, I mean, I ran the calc, and Shofu made a really good point that we have no idea what the hell this Blissey was running. But normally, if we just go standard Blissey versus standard Breloom, level 100, normally Bullet Seeds with 3 or 4 hits, 4 hits never kills Blissey. 4 hits never kills Blissey, right? So 67 to 80% to max defense, max HP. This is Technician boosted. But you put the... I don't even know how to put... How do you even add like adaptability or something to this when you have Technician? Like, how do I even do that? But whatever, you get the Terastallize boost and then you can knock them out. So if that makes Breloom so insane, then cool. But I feel like at that point, like if Breloom's already back, I feel like Choice Band and Life are gonna give me so much more anyway. Like this,
I feel like I'd just rather use Seed Bomb and a grass. What's the grass item?
Which one?
No, the one that boosts grass moves.
Oh, Miracle Seed or something like that?
Miracle Seed. I feel like I'd rather throw Miracle Seed and Seed Bomb on my Breloom instead of using this and maybe getting more hits.
Yeah, or even then, like we said before, just use Life Orb, Technician, or Grass Plate or whatever the hell it is with Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed Breloom's really strong, period.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like wasting it on this is kind of
But the significant thing about this screenshot that Joey said in my video is that you can use held items with Terastallizing.
Yes, that's huge. It's basically it's it's not like a Mega Evolution, right? Like it's not a held item. It's like more like Dynamax. And though with Dynamax, you weren't getting the effects of choice items, but you would get the effects of Life Orb and stuff like that. So this is different though, right? So I guess I could use Choice Band plus. Do you think we get the choice boosts? That's huge if we do.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, Dynamax doesn't give you choice boosts, but it gives you Life Orb boosts and Hustle boosts and things like that.
But that's Dynamax, though.
This is basically Dynamax.
No, it's not.
It's your Pokemon gets a big hat. It gets a big hat. What's the difference?
You're just changing your type for a second.
Not for a second.
Dynamax is different though because, like, I understand why you didn't get the choice boost with Dynamax. Like that would have been insane. I mean, obviously it was convenient to not get the choice boost with Dynamax
to break out. Yeah, to break out of Encore. To break out
because you can switch moves and then you can. That was actually kind of dumb. Now that I think
there was a lot of things dumb about Dynamax. Why they double your HP and give you moves with crazy special effects and also raise your partner's stuff too.
Yeah, that's too much. I don't think they did that with this though.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. We know that items do work though, just because of this. Because Brelam's able to use a loaded dice plus that. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. But the big thing is Terastal phenomenon, all that stuff. They showed a really cool example. We know now that it works like Mega Evolution and Dynamax. Like it happens before the turn even starts, or like at the beginning of the turn. So like, you know, if you have your Lopunny out with Mega Evolve, you have it, and then the attacks would happen. So the example they showed was Tyranitar becoming this ghost type Tyranitar in front of Gallade, and then Gallade going for close combat, and it was ghost type after Terastallizing. Then they showed a really, really cool example of Colossal with Steam Engine in front of Rotom Wash, going for the Terastallized water, and not only resisting, taking nothing, but also getting the +6 speed. So this is really cool the way it works. We're gonna really have to think about how we do this, because your Pokemon's gonna stay like that for the majority of the game. Your Mon's not going back unless it dies, right? As far as we know, right? Your Mon's not going back unless it dies. So
yeah,
if you transform into Ghost type Tyranitar, you're Ghost type Tyranitar, which means you can't bring it in on Ghost type moves anymore, right? You can't bring it on Dark type moves or anything. So it definitely is gonna adjust how we play, I think.
Oh, 100%. It'll change everything.
Yeah, it's literally going to change everything. You made a good point, though, in your video about the fact that you have to pick this before, right?
Yeah. You can't just pick what type your Pokemon becomes willy-nilly. It has to already be a thought in your mind that this Pokemon's going to become a water type or a ghost type or a grass type.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can 100% counter whatever you're planning to do every single time. The situation has to be right.
Yeah, and the way I see that is where the hell is hidden power on the damage calc? But basically, like on the way I'm assuming Showdown is going to do is like you put your hidden power, which is they have a move called Tera Blast, by the way, which is basically it's almost hidden power, but it's not. But it's a physical or special attack depending on what is higher, and you can use it, and it basically it becomes the move the same type the Pokemon becomes. So like Tyranitar would have a Ghost Stab, right? So you're not just Tera Blasting, you're not just Terastallizing into a Pokemon and then not having any stab and just using it for its defensive purposes, right? Yeah. So you'd also be able to use stab. So again, Volcarona, Quiver Dancing up, Heatran comes out. I Terastallize into a ground type or water type. I go for Tera Blast. I'm now +1 because of Quiver Dance. I knock him out. Right?
That's so broken.
You're telling me this is not broken. You need to explain how this is not broken.
So broken.
Tell me right now how this is not broken on setup sweepers, please. I'm genuinely curious. I need to know.
I don't see. It just depends, man. There's more items on the way. Obviously, there's more moves. We just have no idea what's gonna happen. We have to see the Pokemon that actually, like, the whole thing is gonna be shaped by the Pokemon that exist.
Yes.
What Pokemon are in the game? What moves do they get? What are their stats? And we don't have enough information. But right now, what you just said sounds crazy.
That's what I'm saying. And like the only downside is that you have to pick these before the battle, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna have my team of 6, right? Let's just whatever. Like I'm picking pink Pokemon, but it's not on purpose.
Man, the more I think about it, the more I think you're right, man.
It's broken.
Because setup sweepers are only hindered by the counters that come in to stop them.
Exactly. So if
I have a dragon type and this Clefable came in and he's about to fucking moonblast me and I turn into a steel type all of a sudden. Like
exactly. So listen. In this situation, right? So this is my team, right? I got Blissey. I'm gonna put the Tera Blast Ghost. Right, so I put Tera Blast Ghost on Blissey before the game even starts. Right, Chansey, I'm gonna put Tera Blast. Fairy doesn't exist, but I'm also gonna put Ghost just because the Terastallized Ghost. Clefable, I'm gonna put what does Clefable usually lose to? Nothing. What typing would you make Clefable in this? I don't even know.
I don't know. Maybe Steel or something.
Okay, let's make it Steel. I like Steel. I'm gonna lose to Heatran harder, but maybe it'll help me out versus Galarian Slowking. Right? Diancie, I make flying, so I can't be hit by ground.
I see. So no matter whatever situation these Pokemon would benefit in
exactly
being that type, you just switch them whenever you please.
Exactly. So I make like Ferrothorn is still going to be annoying as a Grass Steel, but maybe I'm in front of Heatran and I want to be able to beat it. And I've already done my job. I've walled Tapu Koko and beat it. I've walled Greninja or whatever, right? I've walled whatever I need to. Now I'm going to later become this water type, so that way I wall Heatran and can. Let me leech seed.
And you have your.
Let me leech seed protect versus Heatran.
But another thing, though, okay, yeah, that's true. But if you wanted it to be offensive as well, you'd have to have that
Tera Blast, yes, which would be sucky.
But you're not gonna have that on all 6 Pokemon.
I agree.
But you're gonna defensively be able to deal with these Pokemon you couldn't deal with before.
Exactly. So this is gonna be something that you're gonna have to choose before the game, like your hidden power, right? It's kind of like when Ditto copied a Pokemon, like Frustration. Mega Pinsir would run Frustration, so that way if Ditto copied it and didn't have Happiness, it could only get the benefit from Quick Attack, right? Because Frustration would suck. Because it didn't have. But also, like, you have your Pokemon, your Scarfer with hidden power Ice, and you make your hidden power, or you made your Ditto's hidden power Ice or Fire. That way you copy and trap something or outspeed something, you can knock them out, right? So like if you became Landorus, for instance, and they were Scarf and they were regular and you were Scarf, your hidden power would always be Ice, right? If they had it, so to copy them. So like. I agree. Like Garchomp, let's just see if this is regular Garchomp. Swords Dance, Earthquake, let's just put Scale Shot, and whatever the hell this Tera Blast is going to be, right? I decided on Ice. Why did I decide on Ice? And keep in mind, we don't know what this thing's base power is going to be. Hidden power is 60 base power. We don't know what its base power is going to be. But I decided on Ice. Ice, so that way
I don't think it matters what it is, though, because you're still going to get the boost anyway.
Yeah.
If it's base 60, it'll be 90.
Exactly. It'll be 90.
Oh, well, we don't know the Terastallized boost, but I'm assuming it's like Stab.
Like Stab, exactly. It would be like Stab. That's what we're assuming. And if it's already, we were also talked about, like, for example, I decide to do. Let's just assume Hidden Power Fairy exists. Let's assume this Fire is Fairy. You get an adaptability.
I mean, it pretty much does now.
Yeah, exactly, basically. You get like an almost adaptability boost from it, or whatever the boost is. We don't know what the boost is from Terastallizing, but the point is, I have Garchomp now with Swords Dance, Earthquake, Scale Shot. Garchomp's a fantastic Pokemon with that. I now have this option for Ice, and I'm also going to use Terra. Let's just put Terra. I'm going to put Terrain Pulse, because that's closer, and it's throwing me off that it says Hidden Power. So this is my Tera Blast, right? Tera Blast, Swords Dance, Earthquake, Scale Shot. I'm Ice type, so that way if Weavile comes in and tries to Ice Shard me after I've Scale Shotted, I just transform. I've Scale Shotted, lowered my defenses. I now Tera Blast into an Ice type, so Weavile cannot kill me. I knock it out with Earthquake. On top of that, I have a 4 times effective move versus opposing Garchomp, Landorus, and Gliscor. Right?
No, that's busted. Now that I'm thinking about it, because it's not like I can predict that you're going to turn into an Ice type out of nowhere. I don't have that information.
Exactly.
If I send my Weavile out completely expecting to smack your Garchomp, and you turn into an Ice type, I'm fucked. I can't predict that.
And I can do this at any given point. Exactly, bro. And I can do this at any given point. And like Ice for Garchomp works so well too because it's neutral on Corviknight, right? And it's gonna be a strong move and it's gonna be Stab, so I'll be boosted, right? So. My point is that, my Ferrothorn and my Clefable and my Chansey and Blissey probably not going to be using Tera Blast, but I can put whatever I want on them and decide, just like Dynamax, when you can decide whenever you want to Dynamax, I can decide, hey, okay, you know what? I need this Ferrothorn alive, and maybe weakening this Heatran is going to be good for my Tapu Lele Scarf in the back to sweep. So I'm going to become Water type now, which will affect my Ferrothorn later, but it's going to weaken the Heatran now so I can deal with it. So not only is it going to be crazy on offensive Pokemon, but now I have to keep in mind while I'm thinking, all these defensive Pokemon that can do whatever the hell they want. Obviously, Megas don't exist, and this is regular Garchomp, this is whatever, but it's crazy. That's why I'm thinking it's going to be kind of broken. Like, because...
I'm just hoping that the things in the game somehow make this not as crazy as it sounds. And maybe there's moves and items that can help in these situations, because as you're describing it, it sounds crazier and crazier.
Yeah, that's what I'm... And, like, it's going to be just like... I think Showdown's going to be just... I hope Ditto's in the game. Showdown's going to be just like Dynamax meta was day one. Every team was offensive. Maybe you had your Galarian Corsola to help you deal with everything, right? I'm sure Galarian Corsola is going to be used in the beginning if it's still in the game, just because of Violite, Sharpsat, Will-O-Wisp is really good versus physical setup, and also has Haze versus special. And I'm going to have my Choice Scarf Ditto, which I have to also... That's another mon that you have to choose what type you're going to become. Right? That's another mon. Like, are you going to become Ice Tera Blast so that way you can revenge kill Garchomps, which also became Ice? I'm sure +2 Earthquake would knock him out anyway. But that's going to be a big thing. So we don't even know. It doesn't even matter if this is 60 base power, like you said. It becomes Stab, so it's 90, right? So that doesn't matter. 90 is a strong move, right? Earthquake's 100, right? Sure. 90 is stronger than Scale Shot on average. Like, on average, it's stronger. So this is, or about the same. So it's just, it's a scary concept, and I'm all for demon plays and demon moves and scary metagames and broken Pokemon. So I'm like the #1 guy that loves broken Pokemon. But based on how Smogon has done things as a whole, they do not... I mean, remember when Aegislash got banned? Aegislash got banned because it was deemed uncompetitive because of the 50-50s it provided with King Shield and things like that.
And this is all guesswork.
This is all... They're all Aegislashes.
You'll never know when somebody's going to completely change typings and it's going to be inconvenient for you. You'll never know. And it can be any Pokemon at any time, whenever they
exactly. And it's even scarier than Dynamax, because at least with Dynamax in random battles, I know what moves my opponent can have. I know what they can potentially go for, right?
And it's temporary.
Exactly. It's temporary 3 turns. I can defensively, I can offensively, I can use it to break. Dynamax is scary in singles, period. It always is. But this, I have no idea. And again, like, yeah, they're going to be set up Pokemon that always run Terrain Blast because it's good, right? It's like running Hidden Power. Volcarona is going to run Terrain Blast because it gives it Hidden Power. Right?
Yeah.
That's it. But the defensive Pokemon also become very scary too, because I have no idea. And maybe my Ferrothorn, I make it grass, so that way it can Power Whip the Garchomp, but then it can go for ice moves. I don't know. There's like there's so many different variables with it, and I think it's going to be a lot hard. Whoever wins Pokemon Worlds next year, you're a champ. You're a real champ. Because this is super. I don't know, man. Like, Dynamax wasn't broken.
This seems more manageable in doubles, though. Like, the way you've been describing it, I'm sure this is more manageable in doubles. But also, Dynamax is also more manageable in doubles.
Period. Yeah, it is. Especially now that they allow like Zacian and things like that too. So
yeah.
But this just makes setup supers look crazy. I can't wait to play the first few days on Showdown.
I actually can't see a downside to waiting for your natural counter to come in and just changing your type.
Exactly.
Whatever Pokemon I want to set up with, Scizor, for example, and a Heatran comes in and I've already Swords Dance. I see no downside whatsoever to Terastallizing into a water type and using a wader move or something.
Yep.
Unless they predict that and bring in another Pokemon. But how are they going to predict that? They're not going to automatically assume.
And even if they do, and your Scizzor's a water type, Scizor still has really good stats, right? There's very few Pokemon that can deal with it. Pex is one. But there's very few Pokemon that can take boost, and Scizor can become ground type if you really wanted to, right? Just so you can live neutral and you can beat Pex.
You don't even know, yeah.
So it's
you become a fighting type or something.
Exactly. So I do think that the offensive Pokemon are going to be insane, and I think that the defensive Pokemon will always have an option to help with their 4 times weakness. Period. There's no reason not to have Water Ferrothorn to help me with the main weakness of Ferrothorn, and also it helps with fighting too, right? Granted, I lose, and your Pokemon transforming into this, you're going to have to become that Pokemon for the rest of the game. That's what we know, right? You have to become that Pokemon basically for the rest of the game. So I no longer have a Water Steel Ferrothorn, but a steel grass Ferrothorn, but a Ferrothorn that is water type with Leech Seed is just as annoying.
That's insane, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll have.
I mean, you can honestly compensate. Like, maybe I bring 2 Pokemon that are very similar, because one of them is going to change into something else anyway. Exactly.
Like Ferrothorn Corviknight.
Oh my god.
Ferrothorn Corviknight, for instance, and I use Ferrothorn and Corviknight examples because same thing. Oh no, Magnezone is body pressing in front of me or iron defensing and I have to switch out my Ferrothorn. No, I don't. I'm just going to become any other type and switch out and just switch the hell out.
Oh my god, bro, this is insane.
So the defensive options, every single Pokemon is going to have, it's like hidden power. Every single Pokemon is going to have it. The defensive one should always run something that helps them deal with some counters. And this is always going to be specific to the metagame, right? There was a time in Gen 6 and 7 where Mega Alakazam was broken. But then the metagame shifted. Mega Altari was broken. But then the metagame shifted. If Bisharp is the #1 most used Pokemon, right? I'm going to run, and like let's just say, I'm going to run Tera Blast Fighting on my Clefable to always live Iron Head, or maybe not even fighting. Maybe I become, like you said, Steel. I become Steel. And then Bisharp can't knock me out with Iron Head. It can't knock me out with Knockoff, neutral, but still. They always go for Iron Head. And you know what? I'm going to go for a nice little Fire Blast on that thing and knock it out. Or Fire and do whatever. So like there's the defensive Pokemon they're going to have options based on the metagame. And the offensive Pokemon are going to be crazy. So this is why it's so hard for me to see this not being broken.
It does sound kind of wild.
And I can't even think of a compromise that could happen that they wouldn't ban this. And I'm all for keeping. I want to use this. I want it to be broken. Like, I can't wait to upload Wi-Fi battles. Like Ice type Garchomp does what versus whatever. I can't wait. Like it's gonna be fun for me. People are gonna click it. It's gonna help me out, and it's gonna support my family. It's everything I want out of upload. Right? It's everything I want out of upload. A good time, a great title, a good thumbnail, and it helps my family and myself out. That's everything I want out of an upload. But holy crap, is this going to be crazy?
It sounds pretty nutty.
Is there any compromise you can see that they would make? And keep in mind, Smogon doesn't like to do complex bans, even though they have in the past.
Yeah,
they don't like to.
I know.
Is there any compromise you could see? Like
I don't know. It's the uncertainty, man. It's just the fact that anything can become anything anytime.
Yeah.
And things like that are not. Like, there, you can make the argument that that's not very competitive as far as, like, giving both players an equal chance to make things happen. Like, it's not entirely, like, skillful. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, exactly. Becoming a type that's inconvenient for the Pokemon that was out on the other side of the field is not anything that takes any thought. Like, you just do that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
Like,
it's definitely one of those things that makes more sense in doubles than singles.
Yeah, I mean they've been doing that forever, and like it's not like we're gonna do like a compromise for Dynamax might have been banning Max Airstream, and like that might have been a compromise for Dynamax, right? But they weren't gonna do that, and they're also not gonna do things that break the game or do things different than the game. For instance, maybe being able to see what your Tera type is. If the game shows you, if the game showed you before, then that's cool because we actually have OMs or other metagames that it'll show you that Clefable is Fire Steel. So you keep that in mind. You already know that, right?
If you can see the type of the Pokemon beforehand, then sure.
Yeah, you can keep that in mind. But there's no if the game doesn't have that, then Showdown's not going to have that. Period. There's no,
exactly.
And they're not going to add something that's different to the game. They quote unquote try to be as close to the game as possible.
They should.
But yeah, so this is just an insane concept to me, and I can't see a way that it's not going to be broken. The offense is going to be crazy. The defensive mods are going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. And like it's going to be the Wow. They're going to be Wow West on Showdown. That's all it's going to be. It's going to be just like Dynamax was, and I'm sure it's going to get banned. Unless I'm completely wrong about how it works. But I can't see it. But guys, I really want to know your opinion on this because this is the big thing for competitive, right? We have some crazy new items. The Cloak is the big one. Tera Blast is the big thing too. And then lastly, we got, you saw the AI, or the UI, excuse me, casual battles, ranked battles, online competition, rental teams, all this stuff is back from before. Hopefully the timer's back. That's the big thing.
Definitely need that.
That's it. So that way Shovel and I can wipe a battle, we can wipe a battle all the time. 20 minutes is just simply not enough. Give me the option to play. The longevity of Pokemon is what you make it. If you're not letting me play the game after I beat the main story, what the hell else am I supposed to do? Why should I also have to play doubles or 3v3 singles when the entire game of Pokemon is me making it the best team of 6 to beat the champion?
They must be trying to get people to play Showdown or something. I don't know.
They just say
I don't know, man.
But I love playing the game, and we talked about it in Shofu's thing too. Like, we love playing the in-game. It's really cool. It's a special place in my heart, man. Like, I mean, I started uploading on YouTube in Gen 4, and I played the game forever before then, right? My first game was, Red. So I played forever before then.
Yeah.
And being able to Wi-Fi battle, like, is crazy. So we'll be on top of that, though. Bring back timer or whatever. We'll figure things out. We'll We'll talk to news outlets, get things done. I want you guys' support too, as well, especially if you guys like me playing singles and like me playing in-game. Also, are you going to play VGC next year, Sean?
Oh, for sure.
Or like actually go to events?
I don't know about all that, but I'll dabble at least.
So the events...
I played VGC for a while. You said what?
I was going to say the events are apparently in January. So they're actually giving people a fresh time to enjoy the game instead of it. Sometimes they have it like that weekend.
No, the craziest part is when the new game drops and there's an event after the date of the new game dropping.
Yes.
That's still on the last game.
Yeah. And they make your Thanksgiving be in that weekend type of thing. They do so many weird things, but I might actually do VGC.
I probably would have gone to events last time, but the pandemic was like starting.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm really into it. I'm like, this is the one that I'm hoping that really gets me back into battling, because I battled a lot in 8th gen, but I kind of quickly got bored of it.
Of course.
And,
I mean, to be fair, Sword and Shield early meta was one of the most boring metas ever. Like after Dynamax got banned, I'm talking about like post home, teleport clef and things like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping this game does something as far as like getting me back into wanting to battle more.
Yeah, me too.
I think the timer will be the first step for that, though. So
hopefully. And like even I know that when the timer hit you, you did do a lot of Sword and Shield VGC. You did do a lot of VGC just because
I had no choice.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Just give us a choice. That's all we want. I might actually try for VGC next year just because I do want to go. The fact that it's in Japan is really cool, and I've always wanted to go for Japan.
Ooh.
But we'll see.
I'll see you.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm only going if I can qualify. And I gotta work hard if I want to qualify. But yeah, I think we're just gonna leave it at that, guys. Thank you for watching. We have another video on Shofu's channel as well. We actually talked about a lot of different things in these videos too. So definitely go and check that out. Subscribe to him, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Yes, sir.